Sup nerds? Now, I'm not a huge mobile games kind of guy, but I do love mechs and I do love grid-based tactical RPGs. So naturally, I have been a long-time fan of games like Super Robot Wars and SD Gundam G Generation games. Well, Bandai released SD Gundam G Generation Eternal for mobile not too long ago, and despite being a gacha game, this one does seem to prioritize units that can be unlocked for free by playing the game. Of course, the ultra rare units that you get from the banners are definitely going to outperform most, if not all, of the units that you unlock by playing the game. But anything below ultra rare, it's actually better for you to spend your resources on units that you unlock through the missions, as they are able to quote-unquote evolve, whereas the units you pull from banners, they won't ever evolve. So unless you get a ultra rare mobile suit or a super cool SSR unit that you really like from the banners, it is probably wiser to invest on Gundams that you get from playing the game. So that's what we're going to talk about, but there are a lot that you can unlock. So for today, let's just talk about all of the free SSR units that you can get from the very first mini campaign on this game, which is of course set on the very first series, Mobile Suit Gundam from 1979. Okay, so before we talk about the campaign ones, I do want to mention this beginner mission real quick, because when you first play this, once you get through the intro, they will give you an SSR mobile suit for free, and it is from the newest series, Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuuX. And it is the main mobile suit, of course, the GQuuuuuuX, or Omega Psychomu, along with the main character as the pilot, Machu. And this one is a fantastic unit to have. It will be your best friend at least for the beginning part of the game because it is pretty strong. Not only so, but the pilot has this awesome character ability that lets you have one extra chance stat. So if you improve this mobile suit enough to take out the weaker guys one hit, then most rounds it will be able to destroy 3 enemy units before it becomes your opponent's turn, which is fantastic. Not only so, but doing these beginner missions and eventually the intermediate missions, you will get extra copies of GQuuuuuuX. So it is a given that you will be able to max out its limit break, which does give it a huge boost in stats. And aside from the special event mobile suits, this will most likely be the first mobile suit that you will be able to max out. But speaking of events, these are great opportunities for you to get some free SSR mobile suits. And even if you are an absolute beginner like me, you should easily be able to get at least one SSR unit with at least one limit break for it. So always at least try the events. But I assume as you keep playing, this will be easier and easier for you to complete. Anyway, let's actually get into the topic at hand. All of the free SSR mobile suits that you can get from the first campaign. And the very first one is an attack type mobile armor called the Big Zam on the Zeong side. This one actually did make an appearance in the anime, and it is controlled by one Dozzle Zabi. And it is somewhat easy to build in this game, and even if you are starting from scratch, at most you will need just 3 units, which you will need to keep evolving to eventually get to the Big Zam. This technical journal of course is given to you the first time you beat stage 11 on this campaign. Now, to limit break the Big Zam, you will have to make more Big Zams in order to sacrifice them to your main one. And to do that, you will need more tech journals, which will only drop from hard stage 1. Of course, by doing the secret objective here, you can get one fully built Big Zam, but you can only do that once. The rest of the way, you will have to get extra technical journals so that you can develop the unit itself and then sacrifice it to your main one. In fact, all of the extra technical journals for all of these campaign SSR units are acquired from these hard stages. So it might be a while before you can fully limit break all of these. These SSR units without the limit breaks will still be of great help. That said, being a mobile armor, not a mobile suit, it kinda loses out in the cool factor with those big old skinny legs. Still not a bad first SSR unit. The second SSR unit that you can get from this campaign is actually my favorite one from these. It is also an attack type, but it is a mobile suit this time around, and it is the G3 Gundam. Of course, on the Earth Federation side, this Gundam was mostly talked about in the novelization of the series and not in the anime. But we do get to see it in several Gundam games, and more recently in the Gundam Build anime. And here in this game, it is super easy to build this, as you just need one of the standard Gundam, the RX-78. which only requires one of these 3 mobile suits, either the core booster at level 10, or the gun cannon at level 10, or the prototype Gundam at level 10, which means you will only need 1 unit in total to be able to make this guy. And as you can see, this is very easy to achieve if you go for the core booster or the prototype Gundam. But compared to the Big Zam, it will require much less investment. The technical journal, of course, you do get it also from the first time beating the stage 12, so right after the Big Zam one in stage 11. So despite you getting the technical journal after the Big Zam, in terms of actually building the unit for your team, you might be getting this one first, just because it does require a lot less resources. And of course, to get further limit breaks for this guy, you do need to do hard stages as well, but this time hard stage 2. And this one, for the small amount of investment that you put in this, it does hit really hard. In fact, I still use this guy long after I finished the first campaign, and there is just something really badass about a Gundam holding 2 big bazookas. Moving on to the third SSR unit that you can get from this campaign, it is a defense type mobile suit, the Gyan Eos, on the Zeong side. And this one exclusively appeared in the mangas of the MSVR. The tech journal for this guy can be acquired the first time you beat stage 13. But this guy is possibly the toughest one to build out of the ones here, because you do need 3 different units, one of which is the Gashia, which does require both the Zigok and the Zok to build. So in total, you will need at least 4 different units. And of course, further tech journals required to limit break this guy are also acquired from hard stages, but this one also in the hard stage 1 along with the Big Zam. That said, despite how much effort it takes, I was pretty disappointed at this guy. It is arguably the weakest of the SSR units here, but I guess it can serve as a tank to take a hit or 2 for the other units. Now, 4th SSR unit that we can get from this campaign is none other than the last boss of the anime, the support type, the Zeong, which obviously is on the side of Zeong. And despite you only getting the tech journal for this the first time you beat stage 14, which is the last normal stage of this campaign, it is still fairly easy to make, as it only requires a total of 2 units to build. Further tech journals to limit break this guy are acquired from the hard stage 3 of this campaign, so it might be a while before you start limit breaking this guy. And if you do get Sharaznable as a pilot, it can have that cool last boss factor. But to be completely honest with you, I do think this is such an ugly design, so I don't really like it, but mostly due to its appearance. But is that all? Well, kinda. If you look up here on the top right corner of the Zeong's development page, you can see that making every single one of these units on the Zeong side, which does take a minimum of 10 units, you are given another SSR unit, a 3rd attack type mobile suit, the Casval's Gundam, which first appeared in a game called Giran's Greed, and it is from an alternate universe in which the RX-78 Gundam was built by the Neo Zeong as a symbol for new types. And it is of course piloted by one Casval Ram Deacon, who is actually Sharaznable, naturally, hence the red coloring. Now it does say Ult on the side here, which obviously stands for Ultimate, but I'm not too sure what makes it Ultimate. But once you unlock it, it does get its own development diagram, and you can see here that you can actually evolve Casval's Gundam from SSR to UR. There is a form even after that, which is still UR, but probably much better. Now, I'm not too sure how to acquire this ultimate development material SSR and eventually UR, because when you go to the obtain here, it does say no main source available. So maybe it is from a special event, perhaps? If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments down below. But as you can see here, you can't limit break this guy. But also, it is very powerful, as you can see. Mine is just a level 30, and in CP, it already surpasses my level 40 G3 Gundam, despite being 10 levels weaker. I will have to see if it's stronger than the G3 Gundam when I eventually get 3 stars for that, but I guess Casval's Gundam also can get the upgrade to UR, so probably it will still be much stronger still. And yeah, these are all the SSR mobile suits that you can get completely for free from the very first campaign. Of course, we will be covering the other campaigns once I get all the units for each of them, of course, so stay tuned for that. But tell me, are you using any of these units in your main team? Let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. We do make other every free so-and-so videos for other games as well, but also collection videos in general. So check them out if you want to. Consider helping the channel out by becoming a member by clicking join down below. Subscribe to see more videos like this, and of course, always nerd on.